Formula One arrives in Abu Dhabi for the last race of the 2020 Formula One season. It's the Yas Island, Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi. We've had 5 different championship Grand Prix winners this year. Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, Gasly, and more recently Sergio Perez. It's the last race of the year. The season ends on the 13th of December here in Abu Dhabi. In the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton is already the champion, 332 points, but the battle for third is still brewing. Sergio Perez now ahead of Daniel Ricardo, but Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Alexander Albon, Lando Norris, Lance Stroll and Pierre Gasly are all in the battle and could all take third place this weekend. Whoever finishes ahead of one of the other cars will take fourth in the Constructors. The second page shows a different story. 23 drivers have now finally taken part in this season. So Esteban Ocon looks to break back through. He's only on 60 points. He's 11 points behind Gasly. Vettel looks to end the season on the second page of the board. Then that's followed by Kvyat, Hülkenberg, who's completed 3 races. Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Russell scoring points for the first time. Then it's Giovinazzi ahead of Grosjean, Magnussen, Latifi, Akin and Fittipaldi. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes are already the champions, 540 points. Aston Martin have held off for second. The battle for third is the big point. Racing Point versus McLaren versus Renault into this weekend. Ferrari are a midfield team, then Alfa Tauri, Alfa Romeo, Haas and Williams still have no points on the board. It's the 2020 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and this is the second practice session, the last one here on Friday. Let's take a look around the Yas Island, Yas Marina circuit in the United Arab Emirates. 3.451 miles, 21 turns, 2 DRS zones, and a hard abrasive track that proves Formula One can race in the desert. Start the lap at the exit, turn 21, compromise the corner, getting a nice square run down across the line. Now hurtle down towards turn 1, a left-hander from 7th gear, brake all the way down, taking 4th gear, ride the exit curb a lot, and then really hug the inside line through turn 2 and turn 3 as it launches you back down towards 5 and 6 chicane area. The GT cars go straight on. Formula 1 takes the chicane. This is where Schumacher and Liuzzi made contact back in 2010. Turn 7, past the fans, although this is a closed event. A double apex right-hander, then really compromise it. Down the back straightaway, open up the DRS now and pull 8th gear and just try and tow off the car in front of you as much as you can before you hit the braking zone. Brake at 100 metres, not 150, to try and get the best braking spot down towards turn 8 to 9, the S chicane. Cross now underneath the bridge. Now this is the support paddock pit lane complex. Now take the inside line. It's grippier on the racing line down towards the braking zone into turn 11. A tight, acute 90-degree corner. Left again, uphill slightly to the right, and then left as you enter turn 14, very similar to Bahrain's turn 10. Accelerate now towards the 2 right-handers sweeping through at 18 and 19. Carry as much speed as you want and then hit the brakes hard. Be careful not to lock up on the outside left. Now, underneath the Yas Marina Hotel, full power as you approach turn 20, and then don't rub the exit curb. You can lose a wheel there. We saw that back in 2010. Into the last 2 corners then. Don't run too wide of the exit here, otherwise you'll lose your lap time. But that is a lap of the Yas Marina circuit on Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. And welcome up to the commentary box then for the second practice session of the 2020 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We're all set for what is going to be an exciting session as the world feed just begins now. Alongside me in the commentary box is Ian Birch to talk about this one. We'll just give it a couple of seconds because the world feed's coming on and we'll introduce our radio audience. So a reminder, get in touch with us here on YouTube. We've got the chat in front of us on one of our screens. And also at Joshua Birch 99 on Twitter. And I'll answer all the questions that come through as well on the tweet deck. And this is going to be the last session on a Friday in 2020. Now, you all know the procedure. We've got about 16 seconds to go until the world feed fades and we begin talking to our radio audience as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy what's going to be a very chaotic free practice 2 session from Abu Dhabi as we reintroduce the programme. And this is it then, the final free practice 2 of 2020 on a man-made island, just like the Ile Notre Dame of Montreal. Yaz Island is marshland, basically. And back in 2006, it was decided a Formula One race needed to be held, so they built it. And on a 3-year completion deal, 2009, we raced for the first time. We've been here ever since. 2.31 miles long as well. 21 turns, 1 minute 39.203 seconds is the lap record. 10-metre elevation change, and that's coming down at 10.8 and 9, where Verstappen versus Leclerc last year was all the battle we had to see. Nothing else happened last year. It was a bit of a dull race. Perez versus Norris, though, on the last lap. Perez right round the outside of Lando Norris to take an impressive 8th place and ahead in the Constructors' Championship. Palmer versus Sainz in 2016, though. Big lock-up and a touch on the back. Julian Palmer is commentating on BBC. I'm not sure how much he would like to see that over and over again. 3 tyre compounds, the soft, the medium and the hard. The C5 is the softest we can have. The medium is the C4. The hard is the C3. So the quickest Pirelli tyres coming to this evening twilight race. Alongside me in the commentary box is Ian Birch. Dad, one more time. The sun is setting. And now this is the most crucial practice session we're going to have.
Yeah, the lights go on and we're ready to go. We've got little under 2 minutes to go before the start of this practice session. You said about this being like Canada. Well, there's not the world-class chippy van.
That's a good point.
Just near the entrance.
But this circuit does.
But this is amazing. We were saying this morning how everything is so gleaming, all the glass. It's also, all the buildings are white. And, you know, it's an amazing look.
It's a futuristic feel, isn't it, really?
We're missing one camera position. We hope that it's back for now, where you look down on the cars that are coming into the S's.
At turn 8 and 9 on this part of the track over there, which we haven't got our driver tracker open at the moment because it won't let us in until the session starts in 1 minute 38 seconds. But that's the pit exit, the unusual pit exit where you go underneath the track at turn 1 and rejoin in the middle of turns 2 and 3. It's a bizarre little track, but it's popular at times with fans, but it could do with some work.
Great to see Lewis back, but also sad to see that that means the shuffle that goes on means that we lose Jack Aitken back to reserve team driver this weekend.
Yeah.
But great to see Lewis back, and George will get his chances again. We was on about the super licenses earlier. You know, Lewis, if he gets some more points on his super license, will unfortunately lose a Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And that might be where George comes back in to show what he can do for a second time.
Lewis Hamilton's on 9 points at the moment. 2 more, and he will be kicked out for 1 Grand Prix. That's come with accidents at the Belgian Grand Prix, the Brazilian Grand Prix, the Austrian Grand Prix, and you name it. Lewis seems to be getting penalties. He even had penalty points for the T-shirt he wore at Tuscany as well, which I thought was very, very harsh.
Very, very, very harsh. It was totally again. They want to keep politics out of Formula One.
Yeah.
Yet politics is the business of Formula One. It's you know, without the politicians, a lot of these racetracks wouldn't be able to hold the races. What they're really saying is, that don't upset someone.
Yeah.
Well, Lewis had a fair point what he was making, and if he should be allowed to express his feelings. I hope you can take that
front wing off. Yeah.
No, he's got an adjuster there. I've got one of those behind us somewhere, and
green light.
It's unusual to see Formula One using such a simple tool.
Green light, the session is underway here at Abu Dhabi. 1 hour, 29 minutes and 46 seconds remain. I think that's a little bit fast, actually, on the clock in front of me in the commentary box.
Is the
but
chat
the session's
working?
underway. Yeah, the chat's working. Everything's fixed now. It's getting in touch with us as well. Everyone heading out on, I think, the test tyres at the moment because they're only coming up with P's in front of us at the moment on our timing monitors as we get our screens back up and running. So this is it then, the last time for Friday 90-minute sessions. This is the race setup time. They're all going to get out there and find out what works and what doesn't work. Valtteri Bottas heading out, and they are all heading out on the 2021 Pirelli test tyres.
Which they don't like.
Which nobody likes. You're right, absolutely. Nobody likes it whatsoever.
Let's hope they've made some adjustments.
Albon, Ocon, Gasly, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Kvyat, Verstappen, Fittipaldi, Latifi and Norris out on the track at the moment. They've all gone out together and all of a sudden the track is exploding with cars this early in a session and they're all getting bunched up coming into the chicane as well.
Bottas seems to be at a standstill.
Does, doesn't he? Where is he? Bottas is... Oh, he's jumped. So has he gone out the track yet? No, Bottas is sensors issues. It's gone.
Must be because if he's in the pits, he's nowhere near there, is he?
Absolutely. So he's got a sensor issue going forward. Sparks fly as the Red Bull of Verstappen passes Raikkonen into the S's at 8 and 9. And all of a sudden, this session becomes a little bit more chaotic at the moment. As I think we're a second back at the moment on our timing. We're trying to get it ace for you. There we go. Yeah, there we go.
So
we're
it's
synced
queuing
up
up the timing screen now.
So it's all synced up.
So it should be on there.
Yeah, it's synced up with you on the YouTube chat.
128.03.
And
yeah, roughly.
Yeah, we're synced up precisely now, which I think it's actually a second behind now. It's glitching. All our graphics are glitching at the moment.
Everybody's
both
have done.
Here, yeah.
Welcome to Checkered Flag if you're watching on Sky.
Yeah.
They got the wrong graphic this morning as well.
So, yeah, it's the last day of the season and everything usually goes wrong. I think they've actually started it half a second. I don't know how they've done it, but the TV pictures are half a second behind the actual timing screen. So that's half a second. How do you even get half a second?
Satellite problem.
Yeah, it must be. Half a second delay. So, at the moment, we've got cars out on the track. They're all doing their times on these Pirelli tyres. And, of course, the one problem is they don't know, and we don't know, what tyre compounds they are. We don't know if they're soft, medium, or hard. They're just going out there on the test tyres for the first 40 minutes of the session.
Yeah, it doesn't even say them on the timing screen.
No, it's literally just showing a P and no colour, so practice.
The bonus to the teams is they don't pay for these tyres.
No, they don't. They're bought especially by Pirelli to test for next season. They'll be testing them also on one day of the 3-day test coming up after the season. A test, by the way, look at that. There you go. I told you the graphics were failing. They've all just gone off on the screen and they've now resurrected to back in the normal time zone. So the session will actually last 1 hour, 30 minutes, 0.5 seconds. Gasly saying the Williams photographer is taking a lot of pictures of the cars. We'll have a new one next year. Don't worry, they won't have time to do that. So the Williams engineer taking pictures of all of the other cars to see what they can take. And of course, you're not allowed to do that after what Racing Point did at the beginning of the year. But the engineer's forgetting that these cars are homologated for next year. So these cars will be the same next year as well.
Apart from that, if you take the photography out of Formula One, there'll be no development because it's all about stealing each other's ideas.
Everybody always steals the ideas from everybody else. This is Kevin Magnussen coming in with his tail loose and going on to the green and blue abrasive text that this circuit has been a nick from Paul Ricardo, actually. What's wrong?
Your chair.
No, it's your chair. Your chair's got stuck. There you go. Your chair got stuck on your trouser leg. As we see Kevin Magnussen coming through, I think it was actually turn 14, the 90-degree acute left-hander.
I didn't think I had a leg to stand on.
No, you didn't. It's all rocking. I'm on a different chair compared to
Around the Christmas tree, that's what we should have in the background.
I know. I did say to Megan, can we have some Christmas stuff up? But she says no. So I'm trying to get those little green...
Megan says no.
Yeah, trying to get little green things for Sunday, which we will be live all day, including... hopefully, the end of the race as well. We'll have a little bit of a wrap-up, but we'll also have our Sunday race review show, which is our wrap-up show for the season. I don't know what we're doing with the Christmas special. I'm trying to figure out because we've all got a bit more free time at the moment with COVID locking everybody down.
Hamilton goes top with a 1:37.921.
That's a great time. It's quicker than this morning already, so we're improving. Russell's got 9th, Ricardo 12th. So that tells... Oh, Bottas goes top.
Bottas now top with a 1:37.818.
That's it. Better time. It's a 10th quicker than Hamilton. So I think they must be on softer compound rubber. Sainz goes P6. Look, they're all going through, but Magnussen's had his lap time deleted for track limits at turn 21 and has had his following lap time deleted as well.
Practice 1 is getting used to the circuits. Practice 2 is a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
You're practicing what you've learned in practice 1.
And that's just putting it into development in P2, as you say. And this is Magnussen crossing the line, but he's already had a lap time deleted. And it's a 1:42.281, so he's way off the pace. 4 seconds in total off of the top times. There's the tower, the Yaz Tower, that they call it. Let's look at this. We've got cars backing up down the back straightaway, just trying to get some room. Hamilton's there, followed by Verstappen, who's just passing, I think it's Ricardo, who's back out on the track after a fuel pressure issue.
Have we got anybody not on the track? I can't see anybody not on the track.
No, everyone's on the track. Yeah, you're right. Everybody is out on the track at the moment. Otherwise, they'll come up on this screen with a little red pit stop. But no, that was a lock-up as well from Ricardo.
They all seem to be trying to get a toe off the other one as well.
Are we going to be in for what we saw in Shakir?
Hope not.
Well, what is it? We've got 1, 2, 3 long straights, effectively, on this circuit. And that plays havoc as well, trying to get... toes all the way down. This longest straight in Formula 1, over a kilometre, down towards the braking zone of turn 8 that we're seeing now with Danny Kvyat. So, yeah, everyone's out there trying to get a toe. May as well. Race run setups as well. But it's unusual that Timo can probably bring an extra set of tyres every weekend. Practice 2, everyone's out there immediately.
There have been practice 2 sessions this year and practice 3. Where they haven't actually gone out that much.
I can remember the only practice session I know that they never went out for. And that was because
they blamed that on the tyres.
Yeah, where was it? It was...
Not too long ago.
Was it Belgium? I want to say Belgium.
Mind you, this season, because it's squashed up, everything's not too long ago.
We've lost a couple of sessions that we should have planned this year. Styria FP3 never happened. FP1 and 2 never happened in Nürburgring. And we had a washout in practice 3 in Turkey, didn't we? Then you got a couple of minutes in on that.
Yeah, not a good... Turkey, not a good month of the year for Turkey.
No. December.
It's bad enough.
Have we got ours?
No, we haven't got a turkey at the moment.
No,
right.
Well, I thought we didn't. Oh dear, we'll have to get that sorted.
What did you have for Thanksgiving, you two?
I think we had chicken. Well, there could have been beef.
We don't like to get the turkey too early.
No,
we buy a frozen turkey.
The problem is we've got nowhere to store it, so we have to wait for a while. I think this year, however, we found a place, but it's not in here. I tell you what, you could probably put it in here. It's like actually like you were talking about a couple of days ago. I don't think we were on air, but a cold spot. If you put it in this garage, it'll freeze overnight for sure.
We once went to Beaver Castle, just off the A1, and it's a castle with a load of underground tunnels, bricked over. And it's where they used to store all the things in the Middle Ages to keep them so they lasted longer.
Yeah, like milk.
And it literally is like a walk-in fridge down there.
It's like what this is in the morning. I know you were in here this morning, but it's warmed up considerably in here.
It has, yeah.
As well, which is great because that means that door's working right. Here comes Sergio Perez to the line, and he goes 4th, 1:39.130. Everyone's always been asking, what does the other side of the commentary box look like? Well, we're going to show you tomorrow on the qualifying build-up. No, we can.
Which other side?
That side.
Oh, not that side.
No, not that side. This side, in front of us. Not going over there. No, not that. This side here, in front of us. We'll show you tomorrow in the qualifying build-up. That's going to be a pain. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
Sergio Perez looking at his last race for some while in Formula One, unless Dr. Marco comes up with something. The only place available is Alex's place if he wants to swap him.
Does he would Perez... I can see Perez taking a year off like Ocon did a couple of years ago.
Checo says that he's got things lined up for the following year if he has to take a year out.
IndyCar, I bet.
No, in Formula One.
Oh, really? Oh, test riding. Yeah.
No, someone's
What,
said
a seat? Where?
There's a seat will come up, and I'm thinking it's Alpha.
Alfa Romeo. What? Right? No, Raikkonen's
only signed for a year, hasn't he?
Yes, and Giovinazzi's staying on.
I think next year's roundabout of drivers will be quite something, because I think 8 to 9 will change.
Yeah,
seats, not necessarily going out of Formula One.
Just changing around, yeah.
Just changing around.
I'll tell you what, as we just said from Lewis Hamilton. Lewis has been told to box, and they're going to change the steering wheel live to see if that works. But one thing that I'm thinking, we've got all these contracts in place for 2021 next season, but there's so much that's been happening this year. I don't think that's taking as gospel.
Yeah.
I don't think until we arrive in Australia we'll know exactly who's racing where.
Who was it? Was it Hulkenberg who had a contract with Ferrari?
Yeah.
For 8 weeks and then
lost it. Yeah. What was that? 2012 was it? They were going to put him in instead of Massa. Then Massa got another year or two on the contract.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he was gone. Then there was a situation at Sauber where 2 drivers took Sauber to court.
Gutierrez and Guido van der Garde back in 2014. Yeah.
And Gutierrez was backed by the Mercedes team.
Yeah, Gutierrez won it.
And they took them to court because they took them out of the seat and put 2 other drivers in.
And that wasn't allowed. It was contract recognition boards and all that lot. And according to my timing monitor, I'm not sure if it's working on here, but on the second one, it's saying that Mick Schumacher's up into second place, not Lewis Hamilton. I'll tell you what, Lewis Hamilton may be equaling the other M. Schumacher, but he isn't M. Schumacher. Hang on, this is Bottas's radio. Okay, so Bottas is having a problem with the throttle, saying that when he pushes the brake harder, the throttle goes further.
I didn't think Mick was in this session.
He's not. No, he's not. That's an error there. But so Valtteri Bottas having a problem with the brakes and throttle that was similar to what Hamilton had this morning. Let's refresh this page and get rid of that as well. It's been a quiet day. I know not many people like Abu Dhabi and don't like the last day of the season for this, but the YouTube chat seeming a little bit lonely today, and it has been working.
It's getting close to Christmas. Probably it's people who are at uni. It's
deadline day.
It's the last day before. Certainly in this country, it's quite a lot of the unis finished today.
I also think it's a problem that somebody else has cottoned on to what we're doing, and somebody else has started a rival broadcast, I'm understanding, as well.
Who cares?
I know, we're the better ones. How can you nick us? But still, this is Ricardo 14th at the moment, still going through on the back half of the track.
We're getting good viewing figures for what we do. For what we do,
qualifying in the race also have been fantastic. The races have been spectacular as well. As hopefully tomorrow in free practice 3, we're
a bit more light-hearted than other people.
Yeah.
We talk about other things that make it a bit more personal and
keep an eye on what's going on.
Personal things while keeping an eye on what's going on up there on the screen. And people seem to like it. Some of our viewing figures are really high, especially when Meg and me are
all 3 of us,
with Joshua. Nearly said David.
You're probably right. It's Friday and it's the end of the season. Nobody's probably watching. It's deadline. Actually, thinking about it, it's last day of university for quite a lot of people around the world, so it's deadline day.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of people are like our friend from Australia. It's very early morning there.
Yeah. So it's not really best for viewing times, is it? Let's hope we'll get something going forward.
It's quite early in New York as well.
Yeah. What time is it in New York? I had a clock on it earlier on. I can't remember where it's gone.
General Hospital and Days of Our Lives.
So you're missing that now?
No, they're about 4 half 4.
It is somewhere. If my
I don't watch them regularly. I just watch them occasionally.
This is Perez back on the track. He's 5th at the moment. He's fastest of all first sector for a personal best now because it's just changed over. 2 Mercedes are the only ones in the pit lane at the moment, and they've both got issues. They're having to change the steering wheel for Hamilton, and Bottas has got something wrong with the throttle pedal. Hello! Okay. Thank you, Beth Tenders. Some people are watching. Perez, will he just be homeless next year, or will something big happen? Will something big bang happen and surprise us all? It's 12:14 in Australia. Oh, thank you. Yeah, good morning.
We are hearing that Perez won't get the seat at Red Bull.
Yeah, that looks to be Albon.
It goes. Albon looks like he's got another 6 months there.
Yeah.
But he could be like put on first reserve for there, and they could make a decision. Obviously, Alex is British, so we want him. But Perez is a brilliant driver, so you're stuck in the middle there, thinking, what's the best? And some of these other teams have some mediocre drivers in that can't lace up Perez's boots. So really strange that people are letting people drive in their teams when Perez is available. It sounds daft to me, but then again, it's all about the timing, isn't it?
Money talks in Formula One
as well. Yes. And we've talked about that this morning. Didn't give the incident in the car with Mazepin as much airtime as our colleagues on Sky.
He did about a whole segment on
about
it.
22 minutes on it.
Yeah.
With Ted ending up calling him a lout.
Yeah.
He's apologised. The girl's saying, no, we've known each other a long time. It's just one of those things. Right.
Not once did Mazepin apologise to the woman, though.
He hasn't apologised to her. He said he's his friend, and that's the sort of things they get up to. Well, that's not the sort of thing that Haas and Formula One want portraying, because I've got daughters. I've got 2 daughters. You watch one of them here. And, what he does, he is definitely what Ted said he was.
Yeah.
Joshua says I can't call him a lout, but
Ted said it. You can say it. But the problem is as well, we have to be careful what we're saying, because it's a tricky legal issue.
Well, it's not going to go to court because the girls said that she's not bothered. But it could go to court if Haas are under a lot of pressure. They want to sweep this under the carpet.
Yeah, and they're not going to be allowed to.
Their press officer is trying to sweep this under the carpet, and it's wrong, because even if the girl was intoxicated, what are you what are you saying to the world by allowing that Haas? Right? I know he's a young man, but he's a young man with a reputation in this paddock, right? Sky virtually said they didn't disliked him for ages.
We've said just as much.
He's not got 11 penalty points for nothing, which will be. This is the thing. Lewis's points will be carried over.
Yeah.
And Max's. His won't.
No, because he's gone from F2 to F1. But I think they should, as I think Paul de Resta said something as well, I agree on it, they should carry over from F2 to F1.
Would you like this man to go out with your daughter? That's the thing. I don't think anyone would.
I didn't. To be honest with you,
if your daughter's acting like that and agreeing to it, then you should have a word with your daughter, because although she's free to do everything she likes, she wasn't in the right state of mind to make that decision.
We talked briefly last weekend in Shakir when it was announced that Mazepin would be driving for Haas, and I said at the time that there were some things I couldn't mention on air because we didn't know how true they were. And
we had seen other things.
Yeah, we've seen other things that had been happening around Mazepin as well in similar circumstances. It looks to be going on.
According to social media, this isn't a one-off.
No, I've
and
I've known Mazepin in racing for a while, and even to the junior formulas.
In the last race, he was weaving like mad.
He also physically attacked Callum Ilott in the paddock once.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
and
but Michael Schumacher did that with DC.
Yeah, but I mean, Mazepin is not exactly. I don't know how to describe him best.
Spoiled kid.
Yeah, because he can't go too over the top when commentating.
He's definitely a spoiled kid.
Yeah, Mazepin is...
His father is worth about $7.5 billion.
Yeah, Mazepin definitely is not Formula One material, and I don't think he's even a human being possible, even at the moment.
How long
got
will...
a lot to do. Back to the chat then. Thanks, Beth, for getting in touch. Let's go to Dad.
Beth has asked the second question about Leclerc and Sainz at Ferrari. How long will the pairing last together in the one team. Well, you see, Sainz is one of those that a bit like Perez, who is brilliant, but will never be. Well, he might be, but he's very doubtful that he will be a world champion like his father.
In rallying, that was, yeah.
Well, he's rallying. What he can do,
And if hypothetically they were the only two drivers at Ferrari for the next 5 years, who will win more races and realistically the championship winners?
I don't think there will be. The trouble with Ferrari this year is that they've spent so much time because of their troubles concentrating on getting a car for him.
Yeah.
They have Sebastian is obviously writing a book. The things he said this week, he's making quotes.
Yeah, he's
as if he's been looking into his years at Ferrari very deeply.
There's a book coming, isn't there?
Yeah, it sounds like there's a book coming.
But answering that, I think actually you've got to look at people like
Robert Schwartzman. They're very talented Russian, unlike Mazepin.
I was about to say that.
Schwartzman is a much better driver than Mazepin, isn't he?
Yes, definitely. But Robert Schwartzman as well, coming up through the Ferrari ranks, Callum Ilott, Mick Schumacher. This is what I personally think is going to happen. I think for the next 2 seasons, we'll see Sainz and Leclerc Ferrari. I then think Leclerc will make a challenge for the title in 22. However, hang on, wait there. But I don't think Giovinazzi will make it up to the main team. I think both Giovinazzi and Raikkonen will be let go of Haas at the end of 2021. And in 2022, we'll see Callum Ilott alongside Robert Schwartzman with Mick Schumacher replacing Sainz at Ferrari.
Yeah, we were saying just a bit ago that there is going to be about 8 or 9 changes.
Yeah.
Not all of them leaving, but... when they knew you've got one more year of the regulations of this car, and then it's a total change.
I think Aitken will come in and replace Russell, and Russell will end up going to Mercedes to replace either Bottas or Hamilton. No, I actually think he might replace Hamilton if Hamilton clinches the 8th title next year and decides that's it for me.
Lewis is determined to carry on. And
he'll
not go to Ferrari. Yeah. I doubt it very much that he would go to Ferrari.
I think Lewis wants
Leclerc, to... Yeah. You asked whether Leclerc or Sainz are capable of being champions.
Leclerc is,
but he's got a long way to go. He's like... like you've got a 22-year-old goalkeeper in the net. Football, right? It's going to be spectacular because he's talented. But he's also going to make mistakes. And that's what happens with Charlie Boy. He makes a number of mistakes. He's very arrogant with his driving, and then he comes up against people like Kevin Magnussen, who, if you show arrogance in your driving to him, he'll knock you off the circuit.
I'm going to say this, and I've been thinking for a while, and I think I might have mentioned it on a previous broadcast. I'm going to say it right now, Leclerc will be world champion before Max Verstappen is. Because Verstappen, as you were saying everything about Leclerc, but Verstappen is way too hot-headed to be a world champion.
You're hearing good things, though, about the problem is the Red Bull are designing their car without knowing what engine's going in it.
Yeah, for 2022.
Right? And you design the car around both. They've got a good idea. Their idea is to buy Honda's engineering
and take it into Mugen Honda, which was rumoured, which is the junior thing,
and have a race engine from Honda from like that by themselves.
But like how Jordan did in the early 2000s. Yeah.
But
Hamilton, sorry, just a quick question, because Hamilton's just coming to the line at the moment, and he's going to set the fastest time. He's on the medium tyre, the first driver to change over, and he does a 1:36.479. So
Lewis is back rocking. Anybody saw this morning?
I think Bottas and everyone else is on the hard tyre compounds.
I've watched a panto between these.
Have you?
Yeah, this morning panto.
Oh, this morning.
It was dead good.
Hamilton at the moment, he made a small mistake coming up the hill through turn 2 and 3, but he seems to be on it completely as we go to a break on there.
And we've only got Albon and Hamilton on the track at the moment.
Yeah, everyone else is going
Albon doesn't seem to be doing anything. He's starting to increase now. Lewis is plodding along as well. I don't know.
Yeah. The early of the session seems to have died down as everyone's done a couple of laps. In fact, they've all done about 10 laps on those Pirelli test tyres, so they've done some significant running.
A lot of our usuals will return to the chat, I feel, tomorrow, because I do think it's like Riberson goes to university.
Yeah.
And if they're in Belgium, if they're the same as us, this is the last day.
Yeah, of the university stuff. But I would just say as well, we can't actually see how many people are viewing us at the moment. So our systems are having a bit of a glitch. Last race of the year, everything always usually glitches around.
We got good for this morning for what it was.
Yeah, this morning, an early morning 9 o'clock start in the UK was very early, so we got a good one there. But we usually peak around about this time anyway. But I do know that the race on Sunday last week gained quite a lot of views, and the week before as well.
Joshua says I've got to be more serious, but serious is a cloud, Joshua.
Megan will dispute that.
No, Megan, me and Megan have been saying that joke for years.
Oh, right. Megan will be back with me in qualifying tomorrow. Hazel Southwell joins me in the commentary box tomorrow virtually for free practice 3. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to chatting with her for a long, long time, actually. I've been trying to go around the broadcast a couple of weeks, actually.
Will Roland be returning the second practice? No, because he thinks it's a trap.
We were on about in practice one.
It's a rat trap, and you've been caught.
I was saying about we've never actually had anything run across the commentary box, which has been a surprise.
It is a surprise. We had a dead mouse in here.
Oh, that's right. Really cheery.
When we set everything up for the start of this season, because we set it up
in July, isn't it? Yeah.
In July for the start of the season.
Everything was set up for Australia. Then we got the pandemic. And we had to shut everything
actually
down.
wasn't here. It was in one of the boxes that we put some of the equipment in. You know, the things like the light and things like that over there.
Oh, nice. I thought it was on the desk.
Yes, mate, it was over there.
That means I've been touching it.
I got a feeling, I remember something moving.
When?
When about 3 weeks before, when I was moving the boxes over there.
Oh, right. Oh, don't say that, because I was in here doing... No, actually...
Do you reckon I killed it?
No. I'll tell you what, though. Did we have a MotoGP? Yeah, we did, didn't we, the week before? So
yeah, we had MotoGP.
Yeah, great. That means I wasn't here.
Miller, come on, Miller.
If anybody is wondering what the commentary box looks like, we've basically got a small television, a laptop, a mobile, an iPad, another
bus
mixer, another
big
small
telly,
screen, and the big telly.
Computer screen.
Yeah. And it's a pain. And we've got a D-rig at the end of this as well.
Well, a lot of the stuff is taken out anyway.
Yeah, but a full D-rig.
We don't use to take the 2 tables out.
No, well, that one goes back upstairs, but this one stays where it is. But now,
computer goes out.
Yeah,
tellies go out.
It D-rigs and sets up back for the off-season, which is the esports stuff.
MacBook goes out.
Goes out.
Phone goes out.
Yeah. It's actually just we've just got to reset everything for the esports so that it's basically just 2 tellies that we use in the box. That's it, really. These 2 probably.
I don't do esport.
No, I do the esports. No, I don't there. As Sky come back to coverage, we see Alexander Albon out on a lap time. He's on the mediums at the moment.
Alex has tried, and as we said in previous broadcasts, Red Bull are fully admitting that it's not only his fault. They had set the cornering of the Red Bull up for Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
And both Pierre Gasly and him, when in the debriefs, were making the same complaints. Yeah. So then at last somebody listened to him. Christian decided, hey, they've got a point here.
Yeah, something's happening.
And changed the setup of that front suspension and front wing levels. And Alex he's still got this problem where when you change everything like that, you have to learn. Alex is not Lewis.
No, he's not.
Right?
He's very quick. Oh, yeah.
Lewis and Alonso will get in a car and within a couple of laps know the braking, how the brakes work perfectly.
Sorry to
interrupt. The rest of them have an idea, but they're not actually geniuses like them.
Sorry to interrupt. The graphic here that says Sergio Perez, he became the first driver to win a Grand Prix after being last on the opening lap of the race. That is false. John Watson won the 1981 Long Beach Grand Prix after starting last and was last at the end of lap 1.
Right.
Okay, so we don't say it's your last question, Beth. Keep coming in.
No, it's Beth. Right. She said, sorry, last question.
No,
Predictions for the future of
Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Yeah, keep bringing him
in. Right. Danny Rick, Australian.
You're
Australian.
More's loaded in. Predictions for the future of Ricardo. Will Russell's performance this week be boosted by his drive last week? And predictions of these points chances this weekend. Okay, let's start with Ricardo then.
I think Ricardo has got a big future at McLaren.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Mercedes engine next year, of course.
Yeah, Mercedes engine. Right. I think Danny Rick is... he's only 30.
Yeah.
31.
Yeah, right about that. Lewis is, Lewis is 35.
He's got 4 or 5 years left in him, and if you think, some people have another 10 years.
I mean, Barrichello was in his very late 30s, and he's still winning races with Ferrari.
Yeah, and Danny Rick has got the talent, and he has improved every car he's driven for.
Yeah,
right. People might see him as this clown that clowns around and has a good time. But that is a benefit to the teams that he's at, because of the fact that it allows all of them to lose the tension. There are teams in this paddock where don't make a noise.
Yeah, and it just sort of all goes through forward.
Don't cough in the wrong place, because we're working here.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a light-hearted attitude wherever Danny Rick has things. He nearly took Max's head off. In doing a thing for Sky Sports with an axe.
He did, Hungary a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Max was getting that, and he did it on purpose. Yeah. Every time he got it into the piece of wood, right?
Max
perfectly. Max never got it once, did he?
No, he didn't. He got it very frustrated. Yeah.
You saw the frustration in Max, and that is what's holding Max back.
Yeah, as we said earlier.
Yeah, I think you'll see a lot more Shoeys next year. Because whenever there's a fault, right, I think McLaren, Red Bull, will be knocking on the door.
What we've seen this year from Racing Point, having their copying of last year's Mercedes car and their resurgence to the front, McLaren are going to have that next year for sure.
Australia did a lot to set up for Australia.
They did, before the race got cancelled, you're right.
Oh, yeah, because
3 months.
My sister was out there, my daughter was out there.
Fittipaldi's locked up and gone straight on down at turn 8.
Brother-in-law and son-in-law, and they saw that it was a shame because everything was set up to race the next day.
Yeah. Kelly and Jack walked the track, actually.
But the government decided that it was too dangerous. And after what happened at Cheltenham in the races here, 100,000 people, the Champions League match
catching COVID,
for Liverpool, where the opposition weren't allowed to go watch their matches in their thing, but they could come to Liverpool and watch the Champions League match at Liverpool.
I know, bizarre,
and there was outbreaks in Liverpool and in the Italian town.
Yeah.
That things. Australia did the right thing to cancel the race, but boy, it must have cost a lot of money to a lot of traders. It definitely cost a lot of money to the track and to the teams.
Yeah, they lost.
And it was a real shame. We were constantly on the phone to my daughter, asking if it was going to go ahead, if she heard anything.
It got so bad that actually, when we were going in Australia, I was waiting to do practice 1. And what was it? I know, because it were on a different time zone, I have to sleep from 3 o'clock till 11 o'clock and sort of go through the whole day of Friday and Saturday.
As long as he's got his little bunny with him.
Yeah, I'm fine. But the problem is, what was it? We had to stay awake, didn't we? Because we just didn't know. We had
nobody. Well, you did. I didn't.
We got until what was it? We got until half an hour before the start of practice 1.
I'm like Martin Brundle. What goes. If it goes, it goes.
But the issue was we had no graphics ready, no introduction ready. We were supposed to go live to commentate.
It was a real shame, and we look forward to Australia this year. Hopefully, it'll take place. I can't see why it shouldn't.
No, they're going to do a biosphere as well. Just go back to your previous question about will Russell's performance this week been boosted by his drive last week and predictions for his points chances this weekend. Well, Abu Dhabi is a sort of singular track, isn't it? But if we get dropouts, it's not unusual. Russell could be a bit more motivated. He might get a point, but it's doubtful.
I can understand why people don't like Alex that much. Beth, you say you don't like him much.
I don't like Albon much, but I think the Red Bull's
downforce is wrong.
All over the place, to be fair.
Alex has really done it in everything he's done up to here, and all I can say about Alex is that if Pierre Gasly won a race this year, and he couldn't make that thing work, actually between them and listening to Spice Boy and his band, they are admitting a lot is to do with them, and Alex has been made to look like a clown. It's a bit like the George situation. George showed you in a different car what he could do, and I think Alex.
She just has to breathe through.
I think Alex's problem is he's got to a top car too quickly.
Yeah.
Alex would have been better learning his trade in a mid-table car. And then the pressure wouldn't be on him like it is now to perform. He's got the talent. He's not a genius. George is. Lando is.
Lando, I think, is the next upcoming star.
We're gonna have a battle in a few years between the Brits.
And that's going to be fun to watch.
And it's going to be George and Lando.
And I think back with the Mercedes engine, they'll be quite competitive, and it's going to be fun.
We're not daft. We know that we can lose good drivers as well.
Yeah.
We have had Jolyon Palmer.
Palmer was fantastic, yeah.
In the wrong drive, right? Jolyon is a very, very good Formula One driver.
Jolyon should have gone to Red Bull.
Yeah, I think Jolyon, if it weren't for who his family are, if people abroad might not know, but his family, his dad was a Formula One racer, and they've built up a lot of the tracks in this country to a very high standard.
What about now?
For the lower formulas, and they own Brands Hatch
Donington, Snetterton, Cadwell. I think they've just taken over Rockingham as well.
They've got 7.
Yeah,
they've got 7 tracks. They used to have 9, but they're taking Rockingham over as well.
I think they're taking Rockingham over, and they sold Imola.
But we know that Alex could lose his place in Formula One. A lot of good drivers, by making the wrong decision and going to the wrong team, do lose their chance, right? And Alex could do that, but he's fighting like mad, and the lad is a good driver. The hype that's around him is a problem, and it shows a problem that he is possibly too sensitive to handle, and
Science on the radio here. I think he was complaining of a vibration.
And he's also at a team where he can't be like Lando and Sainz.
Yeah.
So the tension doesn't get relieved. And God, the lad is under pressure, but he is a better driver than what he's saying. And I think if he went to one of the mid-table teams, he would do a lot better. The problem is he could either fall out of Formula One or go to one of the lower teams, Williams or Haas, and then his career is virtually over.
Russell locked up there going into the entrance to turn 21. But I agree. I think Albon has got another 6 months.
I promoted Albon all the time, but I was amazed when Christian suggested that maybe another 6 months.
I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that. I thought end of season he'd be gone.
Yeah, their first response is goodbye.
But it just shows how much they are admitting it's their fault as well.
But then again, that's the problem. As I said earlier, I don't think we're going to see the full 2021 lineup until Australia. Because it's just going to keep changing. I don't think we'll see it in testing. Anything can happen. We can have a driver catching COVID on the way to Australia still, because COVID's not going to disappear before March. We're talking about, what was it, July next year before it's completely under control.
I think you're going to see a difference with Alonso as well, because
Alonso's back.
Alonso's going to come back, and he's going to be in a competitive car.
Who does Alonso kick out then? Who's retiring for that?
No, Ricardo's going to.
I know, but I can't remember how he fits in. Because we've got Vettel. Vettel started it all off even before the season started. Vettel's left.
Gone
to Racing Point. It's
Racing
Perez.
Point.
Yeah, it's Perez.
Perez is the one that misses out.
Yeah, it's Perez who's been kicked out, and Alonso slots back in there down at Renault. And Alonso was out on the track earlier in his Renault R25. Renault.
And I keep going on about it, right? But he's just moved up formulas to Formula 2. Theo Pacher is the business.
Yeah.
Right? The kid is the business. In a Formula 3 car, he has really shown things that only Lewis and Nico really showed at that level.
I've just been informed.
And Valtteri.
I've just been informed that Pirelli's tyres at the beginning of the session, they just announced what compound they were. They were next year's C4 tyre, which would be the same C4s we'll have here today as the medium. Hamilton went 1.3 seconds faster on this year's medium tyres compared to next year's mediums.
Yeah.
That is despicable and shocking.
Well, it's got to be changed.
Yeah,
Simon Roberts back after his COVID fright.
Yeah, he's back in the garage now as well, and back at Williams.
Back at Williams.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering as well. I had something in my head, but then I got the message about the Pirelli stuff as well. I was going to respond to you with that. Next year as well, with Alonso being back in as well. You say he's coming back energized and everything, fighting. Renault are now double podium winners this year as Vettel locks up into turn one and runs straight on. But Renault have got the skills now to build that car up. Next year with Alonso, he says himself it's a development year. And then 2022 with the new regulations, Renault could be right back up there. But then again, I don't think it'll be Alonso champion. I think
Alex is like one of those situations that you get in football where a guy goes from he's talented and he goes from a first division club or a championship.
Go and cough. There you go. I knew that was coming. I could hear it in his throat.
A first division club or a championship club up to the Premiership, then can't break into the first team and find himself in the under-23s.
Yeah.
And he's demoralised a bit. And I think that's what's happening with Alex. We will talk him up because though he flies the Thai flag, he's British. And we support all our British drivers, although if they did something like Mazepin, we wouldn't support them.
I'm not even saying.
You know, and we don't like arrogant British drivers either.
Arrogant British drivers of the past. I'm trying to think of a couple actually.
Yeah, I can think of a few, but that think they're in Formula One and that's it. They don't have to try anymore.
The same driver.
We've had a few like that, but
okay. Go on.
We was talking about it last week, but our Racing Drivers Foundation, and the Silverstone lot that
the RDC,
and even the Red Bull Academy, which is based in Milton Keynes, and they are producing young drivers, sometimes from all over the world. I mean, Senna came to Britain, right? Sebastian got his first break by coming to Britain. And
he's, and that's where he found his love of British comedy.
Not necessarily our drivers, but we do produce a lot of drivers ourselves. A few years ago we were down to 2, weren't we? And now we've got 4, and
Aitken was the 5th,
and two banging on the door.
Yeah, we've just been doing 4.
The French is another thing. The French have remodeled their thing on what the Brits were doing, and especially the Renault Academy. And then the Ferrari lot have up to the same system that the Brits and the French did, and now the Ferrari Academy is dominating F3
and even the F2 category, because we've got Armstrong, Schumacher, Eilert, and even the F3 we had Purcher, didn't we? Dominating, and you're right, it's getting a lot better.
Pocher's getting used to this. He's just been thrown in. He thought he was going to be not till next season. Then something happened. I think it was the Aitken.
It was Aitken going up, and Pocher.
Yeah, so Pocher was moved up into F2, and did the Bahrain race for F2 to both races, and his first one was a bit iffy.
Yeah. Yes, the first one was
getting
great.
Used to the car.
Race 2 was great.
Race 2 was great for Pocher. Honestly, Pocher he is the business. He is like Max was a few years ago.
And still is, really. I don't think Max has actually improved that much in his development. He's still hot-headed quite a lot this year. Next, Red Bull engine. We covered that. I think, was it FP1 or the beginning of FP2? We said it
F2, we've just spoken about it, that they
Honda,
are in discussions to buy, and the Red Bull are wanting to buy the Honda plant and lease its engineers.
Yeah. Who do you think will be more under pressure to perform this weekend? Bottas, Verstappen, or Perez?
Perez can't do any more than he's done.
Yeah, he's won a Grand Prix. He's fine.
Verstappen is in holiday mode.
Yeah, so as Hamilton just goes top.
He'll probably win now.
Hamilton's is a 1:36.097.
Don't you think?
I think
the last few weeks.
It's just been deleted. Track limits at turn 21. He ran too wide. We've seen that a lot today. So Hamilton's lap time has gone. Back to you.
Verstappen there's a bit of frustration getting in with Max.
Completely. I think Verstappen is
We don't call him Mad Max for nothing.
Verstappen's
but we admire his talent.
Verstappen is completely.
He can be a bit arrogant.
He's got no pressure, is he?
He can be a bit arrogant.
I've never noticed that before. That's the karting pit lane. That's new.
But he does it in such a fun way.
Yeah.
That people accept it from him. He's got to be ruthless. We know that, but you can do it in a different way. People like Mark Webber, DC,
or catch him,
Sebastian, right, Jensen. You do it in a different way. Lewis is too far out in front usually for.
I think this weekend's probably Verstappen's best chance to get ahead of Hamilton because Hamilton's still recovering from the COVID pandemic.
What you've got to think is, right, the thing with Lewis is, Ribison's here.
Hello. Oh, hello.
How are you doing? We're doing fine.
I'm good. You're good, yeah.
We had a bit of problem with the live chat this morning because of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, the Taylor Swift debuted a new album, and it was actually quite comical. It had over 100 million something or other on the chat, and it blew the servers, and our YouTube chat went down. So that was actually quite comical. That's why you
couldn't get through this morning, any of you.
Oh, you were getting through and we just couldn't see it. Just to answer the last point, I think Verstappen has now slightly pressure on himself, really. He's not going to be pressured by Christian Horner, but he's under pressure to get Hamilton. Now is his best chance. I think the driver with the most pressure on him is currently who's on screen, Valtteri Bottas. He now knows that Russell can beat him, and it was only by stroke.
It's like when you're at
work.
Yeah, it's like when you're at work and you have a week off, and they replace you with the junior.
Yeah,
and then the junior does a good job because he's trying hard or she's trying hard.
Yeah,
and then you come back, and then all of a sudden you have to up your game because the junior was doing better than you. That happens in a lot of businesses up and down the world.
Yellow flag. I think Pierre Gasly has spun at turn number 3 on my monitor. I can't see anyone.
Beth's last bit
was... Oh, no, sorry. It's actually, I think it's Pierre Gasly coming through turn 1.
Red helmet.
Yeah, it's Gasly.
Yeah.
Who's had a spin. We've gone green again. Going back to you.
Will Alonso last more than 2 years? I've got a feeling he'll last 3.
Yeah, I can't see him leaving.
Because if you look at the past... And maybe he's changed. He went to a supermarket when he left Formula One for the first time.
Yeah, he didn't know what it was.
He didn't know how to shop in a supermarket. The idea that you had to put a coin in the coin to get
in the trolley.
You know, and he thought it was amazing. It was like a new experience to him, and he's learned a lot in the last 2 years. And I'll be honest, right? We're not going to be sure until he gets here what the new Alonso's going to be like. Will he be any good?
We saw him slightly, didn't we, at Indianapolis?
I mean, the guy was a genius, but will he be any good? I mean...
well, we saw... Do you remember what happened at the Indy 500? They didn't even bother hyping him up this year because they didn't want to do that again because Alonso at the Indy 500, he'd slimmed down an awful lot to come back for Formula One. He was rubbish.
I would love to see Alonso back at his top.
Yeah.
Right. When he was first at Renault, and
it feels like a Schumacher.
Was it Benetton?
No, he was at Minardi, Renault. Yeah, it was Minardi, Renault, McLaren.
Yeah, it's the colour scheme at Renault at the time. That's why I'm thinking that. Yeah, I mean that was his big years, and showed why he's a genius, right? And he will get in that car and he will drive it fast. And he will drive it spectacularly.
I have a feeling
but whether or not he'll return to the heights that he had before, he's doubtful.
I've got the feeling, though.
Although I can see him winning a couple of races.
I have the feeling, though, it's more of a Michael Schumacher return. I mean, Schumacher was 41 when he came back in 2010. Alonso's 40. And I just don't see it working.
Michael's came back specifically to help develop the Mercedes car.
Yeah, he still had that itch because he was forced out by Raikkonen.
Lewis often says about the fact that if it wasn't for the development that Nico and Michael did, he wouldn't have done so well when he went to Mercedes.
I'm quite surprised that Rosberg struggled for all those years. I think that must be only because he had Lewis Hamilton, his teammate. It took him a while to beat him. But it was surprising that it should have been Rosberg. Well, if you think about it, back to that first season in 2013, Rosberg had the advantage.
The thing is, like, Nico isn't a genius.
Yeah.
Right, he's not a genius driver. He's a world champion, and because of sheer hard work and commitment.
Yeah.
And
It took a lot.
he used a lot of mind games and things like
and
that.
he was exhausted.
And to be honest, it looked like he'd taken advice from his dad, because he started driving at people and say as if get out my way.
Yeah. He retired immediately. I think it was just physical exhaustion.
He does other things now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's now actually a podcaster. He's a broadcaster. He's a development driver as well.
He's just gone into a business.
Yeah, done quite a lot of things as well. As we've got someone coming in.
Yeah, what is that bit? I can't remember the business.
I think is that a key? Oh, well, you can go for a second. I'll keep commentating. As this is Gasly coming forward onto the lap now. He's 10th at the moment. As we see, McLaren just further back. That was Lando Norris. Gasly's coming up to the line. Vettel's just ahead. Gasly crosses it and does a 1:38.049. He's 8th fastest across the board. That's a better time. As we see this now Norris on a lap time, looking better. And the night has fallen around the circuit here for Abu Dhabi. So we're into the night shift, looking quite good. And Norris back on the board. So Gasly's up to 8th place as well. Yeah, Alonso back for a couple more years then, going forward into 2021, 22, 23.
What was that?
I don't know, but something's trying to... Yeah, you go out, because we nearly just had a massive door fail in our commentary box, which isn't great. As Norris at the moment up there. He's on a lap time in the McLaren. As our door keeps trying to come open. Yeah, this is the problem. One person comes in, suddenly the whole door decides to fly open. Norris on the back half of the track, then coming into the braking zone for turn 11. He's 4/10 up on his own time at the moment, so he could go a little bit quicker. He's on the soft tyres. Leclerc goes 6th, a 1:37.508 on the board. It's Bottas top from Hamilton, Verstappen, Albon, Perez, Leclerc, Sainz, Norris, Gasly, and Ricardo completes the top 10. Underneath the Yas Hotel for Norris into the turn 21-22. As I said earlier on in the broadcast, if you were with us, it's a 4th gear corner flat out. And now Norris goes P5, a 1:37.438 on the board. So as that gets sorted out, where is Fittipaldi? He's 16th. Beth Tender's just put Fittipaldi. What? Fittipaldi is 16th on the board. And we've had a lap time deletion as well for, I think, Ricardo. He's down, yeah. Yeah, and Raikkonen's gone up the order. Fittipaldi is 16th. He's ahead of Giovinazzi, Latifi, Ocon and Vettel at the moment. So I think the bigger shock there is Vettel's off the pace. But yeah, Fittipaldi back this weekend, replacing Romain Grosjean. Looks to be his last Formula 1 start for now, unfortunately. He's doing the post-season test, though, so he will have some more times in the car. We would cover the post-season test, but there's no official FOM graphics or FOM TV pictures, so unfortunately I can't cover any of that. How did Schumacher do this morning? I was at university. I couldn't come. I knew you were there. Is it your last day? Because it is over here in the UK for university students. But I thought that's why this morning wasn't there. I'll just double check for you, because I think it was 18th on the board, but I won't get that completely right. So I'll bring up my monitor of information, because at the moment, my usual notepad of notes isn't operational because we've had no printer ink. So they're having to come tomorrow. P1 as well. We saw Mick Schumacher, yes, as I thought, 18th fastest, a 1:41.235 was his time. And Pietro Fittipaldi was 19th, a 1:44. So getting used to the car earlier on. Ribosome, yeah, last day. I thought it was. I hope you didn't have many assignments due in. Last year when I was finishing university, the year before, 6 assignments due in one day. That was not nice, I can tell you completely. Ricardo, 11th at the moment, on a good time in the middle sector after having a lap time to leave. Vettel now moves up to 14th, a 1:38.198. Yeah, Schumacher was 18th this morning and did quite well. According to my monitor, I still have a Schumacher on track. It's showing but Hamilton and Schumacher on the monitor with the chat. But I'm just checking here because it's the same monitor that you have there. And it does show Hamilton into second place as well. That's better. Here comes Ocon to the line and goes P6 at 1:37.505. Ricardo is 9th at 1:37.508. So Ocon quicker across the board. If you're joining us tomorrow for free practice 3, you're going to be in for a special treat as journalist Hazel Southwell is joining me virtually in the commentary box for the 3rd session. She's on Twitter. It's her name, Hazel Southwell, and it's going to be a delight to have her in the commentary box as well for the final practice session of the year. 1:37. Who was that moving up the board? I think it was Perez to 7th, 1:37.506. So he's a thousandth off of Ocon. Leclerc's on the radio. And Leclerc having oversteer in the last sector. He didn't expect it, was what I heard over my earphones. But yeah, so it's all looking quite good. So do remember, join us tomorrow for practice 3. It's 10 o'clock UK time in the morning, 10 a.m. UK time. And I will be joined by Hazel Southwell in the virtual commentary box. So I'm having to go two split screen to get us in because unfortunately we can't share the same commentary box because we're in different households in different parts of the country. So virtually she'll be joining me and I can't wait for that as well. Megan will rejoin for qualifying and then we're all together for the race as well. And hopefully I can get hold of Hazel at the end of season as well to have her thoughts on the Grand Prix. And don't forget, during the off-season as well, there's going to be a lot more action to come. There may not be any Formula 1 races, but join us on Twitch on BBB Racing, where we'll have some e-sport races where I do the commentary. That's a lot of fun. And here on the main YouTube channel, we'll have some interviews. Yes, we're going to do a Joshua Meets series where I sit down and interview people in and around motorsport, starting with journalists, drivers, mechanics, everything, engineers, anything you can think of. We're going to try and get hold of people and have a chat for about half hour over the off season. So that's looking a lot of fun as well as Gasly comes across the line. And he's 12th at the moment. Stroll's on an improvement lap in the middle sector. The night has fallen so much here. I just saw the plane fly over the track from the local airport just around the corner. This is Stroll on board with a first sector time of a 17.401, sector 2 of 41.6. He's down by 5/10 on Bottas's time, but he is improving and could go 3rd fastest. Gasly says the engine is braking. So it's engine braking, as in terms of when he goes for the power, the engine has the brakes. As Stroll comes into turn 17 underneath the hotel. Can he have a bit more acceleration? Yes, he can. He gets on the rumble strips a bit too much. Runs a little bit wide. So the car's coming back into the pit lane then. After doing some more lap times with 32 minutes to go. Still a long way to go in this session. And Stroll goes 10th. He's 1.2 seconds off the pace overall. So Lance Stroll goes into P10. Any questions? Get in touch. On Twitter, it's at Joshua Birch99 as well. So get in touch on there. And Good Luck Team is what I was on the side of Lando Norris's garage there with the mechanics. And of course, Carlos Sainz in his last race for McLaren. Sebastian Vettel, his last race for Ferrari. Danny Ricardo, his last race for Renault. And next year, it's going to be a whole different change around, as we've been talking about. And it is going to look very, very different in Formula 1. And then, of course, comes 2022 with new regulations, new cars, new aerodynamic packages, and a whole new driver lineup, it looks like, because we could have Hamilton out of the sport, Bottas out of Mercedes. It looks completely bizarre. And, of course, Bottas has only signed for 1 more year. So that's easily changed going forward. Russell 18th at the moment, 2.5 seconds off of the pace. And that's even more of a heartbreak for George, considering the fact that he was topping Friday this time last week in Shakir with under 55-second lap times. I must admit, after commentating on those sessions, it does feel quite long coming back to a 1 minute 30 lap time. It is quite long. Sky go for an ad break. And rejoining me in the commentary box is now Ian Birch as well, after whatever happened out there. So I don't know what the business was and what the problem was. I'm sure he'll tell us, but there's your headset for you. As put that back on. Just gone for a break. We've got Stroll up there, Perez up there. What was the issue outside?
Your mum threw a football at you.
I knew she was doing something.
No.
I'll get my own back on there. I'll let her tyres down.
The football
Blew away.
when she was moving the boxes out there to get the bin back in, the football fell out the box and
Banged on the door. I was going to say, because it was nearly coming up at the side, it was pushing it, so I was wondering what that was. So that was the door.
She's got a few choice words for you. She'll tell you later.
Very nice. I hope it's don't come in when we're on air. I'm going to start locking that door at this rate. It's getting a bit ridiculous. But that's her second appearance of the day. Verstappen, at the moment, he's on a 1:37.046. The time this morning was a 1:37.378. So we are quicker than the time in FP1, if I get my words out. 16 laps completed for Bottas, 19 for Hamilton. Verstappen and Albon on 21, Ocon 22, Perez 23, and I think actually Perez has got the highest, as well as, Vettel. Vettel's done 24 lap times. He's the highest.
Turn mine off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you want something for your tea, you better text her.
As we see.
So, who's out on track? Latifi and Russell battling away in their Williams.
Yeah, well, Russell at the moment did do a lap time. He was up to 18th place, but he was up to 12th, but everyone else said the lap time was just falling back down. And we have confirmed it was Riberson's last day at university.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Oh, great.
We thought it was. We said in practice.
Have a nice
actually,
Christmas.
Yeah. Yes. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Or whatever whatever holiday you're having.
That's a good point, yeah. That's a very good point, actually.
There's Hanukkah as well.
I'd say fantastic as well, actually. You should see our candelabra.
Just had the light thing in Muslim calendar, haven't we?
Yes.
Benali's.
I cannot remember for the life of me what it was.
I'm sorry, but
yeah.
Unlike other people,
you never left the house.
My kids know these things off by heart, and I don't. I'm lucky to know.
Well, the good thing actually was
the Christian timetable.
The good thing actually was that
everybody says I was.
Yeah.
Was it not Shrove Tuesday or Ash Wednesday or something Sunday?
Yeah.
I was born on. Yeah, I don't actually know.
Palm Sunday?
Palm Sunday.
Yeah,
I don't know what actually that means.
But actually, the good thing is actually, as it's very unusual in this country, especially it was very rare in the earlier 2000s when I was at school.
I remember.
I
remember my last days at college and university type thing.
Yeah.
And they were always in the pub.
Well, to be fair, we had working lunches.
We had a politics teacher who, on a Friday afternoon, would often turn around and go, I think we're going to have a discussion today.
Yeah.
So we'll reconvene in 10 minutes in the pub round the corner.
It makes sense. Working lunches help brilliantly. As I'm just trying to have a quick look, because this has gone completely
40 odd years ago that was.
I just want to also point out as well that my point was, I've just remembered.
My point is we're on air and you never said anything.
Sorry. I was just thinking as well, because I was planning what I was going to say. Yeah, with my junior school.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you very much. But yeah, with my school at Wybers.
He was in a play once.
Yeah. I was the innkeeper.
He was the innkeeper.
I led it, actually. Can you imagine? I was
They had to change the play so that he led it.
No, they didn't. I got the lead. Although I still don't know. I was a bit cocky when I won it, to be fair. I was.
And changed, have you?
No. But just going with it as well. Well, now university is you work alone at home. Oh, yeah, of course, pandemic.
Yeah, just like Megan's still at school, but she does exactly the same.
Yeah.
She spends literally 90% of her time when she's awake doing that. We make her do other things. We make her do family things. We do a quiz on a Thursday and a Saturday night.
Yep. And she's having Christmas off.
Yeah.
So I think actually we're making her stop this weekend. Is it next weekend?
Jay's virtual pub quiz. Jay is quite famous in this country now, and we've been doing his quiz since the start.
It was Dowie. Of course, it was Dowie recently. That was the holiday.
Dowie,
yes.
Yeah.
The Light Festival, yeah.
The Festival of Light, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody in the world, right? 8:15 on a Thursday and a Saturday, UK time,
Jay's virtual pub quiz.
virtual pub quiz, and last night he had the guy from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire,
Chris Tarrant.
Chris Tarrant. When I was a kid, he was on Tiswas.
But yeah, it's a fantastic little quiz as well.
Tiswas stands for Today is Saturday, Watch and Stare. But when I was a kid and watching it, it was Today is Saturday, Watch and Suffer. It was great. It was a wild party every Saturday morning on ATV. Then it went to the national ITV network.
Yeah. It's always a shame that we don't have anything like that.
As soon as they go national, they don't go. They're not as zany.
Yeah.
Although that was zany.
More rules to follow.
Yeah. And then they went to a nighttime show called OTT, Over the Top.
Over the Top, yeah. Well, that's what.
And that was even zanier because they could do what they want then.
That's technically what this coverage is, over the top, because we're watch along.
Yeah,
so we just sit here. Although I tell you what, though, I have had some very lovely comments back over the past couple of months that says that we are more like a radio commentary, like the BBC, compared to a watch along, because I've actually been sent watch alongs.
We've got the BBC girl is
but that's
on our Twitter.
Yeah.
We talked to Jenny quite a bit, don't you?
Yes, but that wasn't my point. Was the fact is that as we keep the commentary going all the way out, we just keep talking. For other watch-alongs I've seen, they just have a timing screen and then they just don't talk for long periods of times, and even then, they don't describe what's happening on the screen. They just sort of go, "Oh look, Perez up into second place."
Well, we go off script and go all over the place.
We've got plenty of time.
We got a script.
No, we've got plenty of time as well to talk about things, because unless it's the race like last weekend where it was just crash bang wallop.
What a picture!
Yeah, in practice it is a lot quicker.
Do you want my autograph?
What?
What a picture! What an autograph!
Oh, right, I was wondering where you're going with that. So it's a long period of time to just have a nice chat and sit down and go with it. What's this? Anthony Joshua is on his way in at the moment. What was that? Anthony Joshua is weighing, but security forced to step in. They started attacking each other.
When the weigh-ins, they always do. They always stare each other. Yeah, stare each other right in the face. Call each other a few names.
Yeah.
Throw a few punches. People think, "Oh, this is going to be a good fight,"
and it's over within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I've stopped watching.
Anthony's brilliant.
I stopped watching though.
Anthony's brilliant. We do well for heavyweights. And super heavyweights.
I've interviewed Luke Campbell, who's the boxing gold Olympic medalist.
From here in Humberside. He got a gold.
Hull.
He's over the river in Hull, over the bridge.
Only got that because Kirsty was
because he
her
knew Kirsty.
gym partner. Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. A lot of weird people come to
You got a thank from the guy from Calendar.
Yeah.
Because you'd loosened him up, because he was the guy from Look North.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a bit nervous, bit things like that.
Yeah, before they were in a queue.
You said, "Oh, you know my cousin Kirsty," and lightened him up. Oh yeah, I know Kirsty from the gym.
We were in a queue, and it was BBC Radio Humberside. Then it was me. Then it was Calendar. Then it was Grimsby Telegraph.
Yeah.
But Grimsby Telegraph got a photo of us together.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
I can't remember where it is. I've seen it recently. I need to get that printed out because I like that photo.
He's not only just done this.
No, I've done a lot. I did.
He's quite serious at what he does.
I've won a Diana Award.
He does serious things. Yeah, he's got a Diana Award, Princess Diana Award.
That
signed by Cameron.
Yeah, David Cameron, who was the Prime Minister at the time.
Yeah, signed by
6
the Prime
years
Minister.
ago. Yeah. But yeah, there's quite a lot of things. I think I understand actually, as there's Callum Ilott in the Alfa Romeo shirt at the moment, just standing in the pit lane. Cars out in the track, but they're all circulating on race runs at the moment, so they're not setting competitive times just yet. As we have a look at Mick Schumacher in the Haas. With the mask on as well.
Very nicely done nails, isn't he?
Yeah. I was just looking actually at that as well. He's a perfectionist, isn't he, Mick?
Yeah.
You saw it 2 years ago or 3 years ago in the European Formula 3 Championship as well, how much half a season he was making mistakes, and he went off in the break and came back and absolutely dominated. He did not tolerate mistakes. I think
distant cousin Seb there looked like he's very hot in that helmet there.
Well, its track temperature is up at 27 degrees. Air temperature is at 23 degrees, so it's very warm. And it's
Seb,
warm,
obviously, along with his uncle, look after
Mick
and give him a lot of tips on what he should be doing, where he should be things, and how they would drive the track.
Yeah.
you got the situation today where Seb and Mick were on the track at the same time.
That was lovely, actually.
That must have been brilliant for. I mean,
I understand.
Seb actually talks about the fact that when he used to drive on the same track as Michael, it was always weird.
I must admit that as Leclerc just bounced across the curbs at turn 12 and 13, just got a little bit of a jolt. But one thing I was a bit annoyed at this morning was I think some of the Sky commentators said that Mick, well, he obviously hasn't got the talent of his father. No, I think he's got more. I think he's got more talent than Michael.
Don't put. I think what they're trying to do is not put a lot of pressure on the kid. Don't put too much pressure on the kid. We know
he's his own person.
We know he's a good driver. We've seen that last weekend.
Yeah.
He can be determined, but he's like I was saying about the others. He's got a long way to go. He's only young.
Yeah. As I said, I think he's got more talent than Michael Schumacher because
I think people have learned from Max.
Just seconds. The difference between Michael and Mick is obviously the father and son team, but Mick can understand when he's done wrong. It annoys him so much, he will not stop until every little detail. It's a bit like Michael in that respect, but with Michael, he would get to a level and then he'd still want to improve, but then he has a look back and sees that he's already dominating the field, so he eases off a little bit. Mick sees that he's dominating the field and just wants to go quicker.
Michael did the team thing very, very well.
Yeah.
His team would have jumped off a tall building for him. They believed in him so much, and he believed in them. And it was a two-way street, and that mix going in and out of different teams.
Yeah.
He hadn't been able to put that in place yet.
Russell's got a problem with the K. Oh, it's smoking. It's on fire. The back of Russell's car is smoking, and that looks like a turbo. MGUK has got a problem with it. So the kinetic system, the battery, is smoking. A lot of steam comes off the back as well.
Yeah, it does look like steam rather than smoke. Is it bluey? Yeah.
It looks a bit bluey, although it looks a bit of clearness as well to
Maybe that's just an oil leak.
Yeah, it could be. Kinetic is near the battery as well.
Yeah, kinetic is the battery, isn't it?
We'll have a look, but they're taking it back into the garage. It still looks like it's smoking. Look, you can see the light.
Remember.
No, they're stopping it.
Stop it now.
Yeah.
Let's find out what that is before you take it into... we've seen a Williams pit on fire.
No, we've got another one.
Fire in the Alfa Romeo.
Raikkonen's on fire. The back of the Alfa Romeo is on fire, coming into the back half of the hairpin. And it's big fire, actually. The engine's blown, and that'll be depositing oil everywhere. These are Friday engines getting to the end.
His team should be telling him, stop now.
Red flag's out. Race session stopped. Red flag. And that's a big fire now. Lost power.
That's a Friday engine going up in smoke.
And it's actually now catching fire so much that it's burning off now through with a visible flame. Raikkonen, I hope Raikkonen knows that it's on fire that much, because it looks like the fuel line. Look, it's just hit him there. Something splashed on the back, and now he's gone out. So, you've got 4 seconds to get out of that car.
That's just the engine is completely gone there.
Yeah,
it's a Friday engine.
Yeah, it's Friday engine.
And that's what's wrong with the other car. It's
Russell,
Friday engine. Last race of the season.
Raikkonen's actually taken hold of the fire extinguisher in order to try and put it out. And it looks like it's gone out, but if that's a fuel line ruptured, we know that they can still catch fire.
Yeah, because they go on the exhaust and they go again.
Beth has said Russell has literally cracked the shifts. He really has. He's pushed that car to the max. And that is Sebastian Vettel with stopped in the middle of the pit lane, and his brakes are now catching fire. So it's all going on.
Yeah, because he stopped because of the red flag. He was on his way out.
And Raikkonen's got... Oh, it's still on fire, look. It's still on fire. Look, Kimi noticed. So that must be the turbo unit going bang, isn't it, to cause that big of a fire. So that'll be new rear wing. That could be T-cutted.
Kimi won't put that £70,000...
yeah. Oh, the floor.
Steering rack back on until...
Yeah.
Steering
wheel
back on until he knows that fire's out.
And this has red flagged the session. As you can see, the session is stopped, and it was going for a long time at the hairpin at turn 7 as well. You had to cut straight across the chicane.
If you look, it looks like it's dropping onto the exhaust.
Yeah, so it's just igniting it.
So it looks like a fuel line.
Yeah, his engineer saying, get the hell out of there quick. But he couldn't because, look, his radio link was stuck to the back of the car. So he actually couldn't get out of the car.
Where
Yeah.
you plug it in, actually. Just won't come out.
Yeah. So fire.
They do unhook here as well, halfway up the chest.
Yeah, but I don't think he could get that out. Look, it looks, yeah. There's two little hooks, isn't there, in case of a fire and in case of emergency extraction for the mechanics. So the car's still smouldering.
This is called back end of the season.
Yeah.
Right, these cars today they've got the Friday engines in, which have literally gone to nothing. Right, we was expecting something like this, weren't we?
We were, yeah. Because it's not a question. It's, they've only done 17 races. Usually they have 3 for 22 races. No, the point is these engines will be going non-stop, backwards and forwards into the car for 5 months, nearly every weekend. They've barely had any cool time. They've barely had a chance to be repaired, as you point out in FP1. They are constantly being worked, no time for repair. And they're just going to go bang eventually.
You can use your practice from the.
You have a practice gearbox, yeah.
You have a practice engine from.
Kimmy, don't do that. Kimmy's ripped off the back paneling of that Alpha, and
to make sure it's out.
Don't do that because that's homologated parts, Kimmy. You could be kicked out if you damage that. Yeah.
Billy just turned around to the stewards and said there was a major fire and we needed to make sure it was out.
I know, but if it compromises the rest of the car, they'll have to build up the T car for him as well.
That little thing that's connecting that radio is identical to ours there.
Yeah, which one? Yeah,
the 3-piece that we put in to get so we can
these things. Yeah. If I can pick it up and show because this one isn't working. I can't actually pick it up because it's stuck in. It's over there. I can grab that lead. If you just look at this, moving all the stuff out of the way to show you. If I can get hold of this mic.
It's the T thing.
I know. That's what I'm just trying to get hold of. It's dropped it. Never mind, leave it. Can't get hold of it. Yeah, it's one of these mics.
Yeah, but it's the T thing. It's the connector. It's not on this one, I don't think.
That's not, no. That's the round one.
So it's a red flag, so Joshua's trying to waste as much time as he possibly can. Now where he's going to put that, I don't know.
Let's put it on the box, that's here. Didn't spot that originally. So it's the
As long as you don't open that door.
It's locked. I locked it. There we go. Let's open up the T thing. There you go. That's
all that for that, but it's just exactly the same as what Raikkonen's got on.
Yeah, that's what Raikkonen's got on with the car.
A T adapter.
So we use to get the commentary headsets for Megan and Dad because we have one headphone socket. That's it. What? Yeah, there you are. Your mic's on.
Can't hear anything and I can't see anything.
Well, I've got another mic here. If I can get this in shot. Where is it? There
Once he drops his apple juice all over his computer.
I don't know if I can get it in because the computer's in the way.
No, you can't.
There we go. Yes, I can. There we go. There we go. Look. There it is. That's the.
I can't see it.
Just in the bottom corner there. It's where I am. It's here.
It's his radio style.
The
mic.
radio style
like
mic. Yeah.
At the radio studio.
That's what we do all the voiceovers on and all the lap attacks that we have. Moving out of the way. You made a mess now. Look at this.
I made a mess.
Raikkonen is out of it then.
I just mentioned a simple thing and you had to go.
Well, we haven't got loads of them. It's the end of the season. All the equipment's left, right, and centre. I don't know where anything is.
That's a good film. I remember you saying that the last time you said it.
What, left, right, and centre?
Left, right, and centre, starring Ian Carmichael. Made about 1958, 62-ish.
You know. So red flags are out. Session is stopped, as you say. Cars are all going to head out back on the track soon because... Are they going to have to check for the oil?
Yeah, that's why the red flag was for.
I thought because the fire triggers the red flag automatically nowadays. Because it never went from yellow, it went straight to red. So we'll double check, but you're burning or itchy.
I was burning. I think I'm done on that side.
Well, turn your legs over. But you're going here. I'll try and kick it to the other one. There you go. But they're going to have to check for oil all the way around the circuit because that was blowing, I understand, from the start and finish straight as well. So
remember, the countdown still carries on.
Yeah, 10:58.
Oh, I've gone into my radio voice.
Yeah. So there we go, there.
So look at the charts this week. It's coming up to number 10. It's Joshua with What's Dad Doing Now?
Don't know. But at the moment, we've got a red flag, so we'll run through the order.
It's number 9 this week. It's Megan. Leave me alone. I'm working.
2 seconds. So it's Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, Albon, Norris, the top 5, Ocon, Perez, Leclerc, sorry.
Claire.
Yeah, the graphics
Promoting
glitched.
Latifi to a Ferrari just then.
Yeah, the graphics have glitched. Raikkonen, Stroll. I'm going to switch to this monitor.
I've got your glasses over here if you want.
No, it's all right, I'll switch to this monitor where I can see the names. Kvyat, Sainz, Gasly, Raikkonen, Vettel, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Russell, Fittipaldi, and Latifi. I'll have to switch to that monitor instead of this one because I can see the names in full there. I think, who was it? David Croft made the good point. Working off abbreviations is never good. So that's why I have several different monitors showing me the full drivers' names.
Schumacher did quite well this morning.
18th.
You know, he not spectacular, but
141.
when you come into a car,
Yeah.
you expect him to be in the bottom 6, don't you? Unless they're
Did 23 laps.
amazing.
23 laps he did this morning. Fittipaldi did 24 on the same car, and he beat Fittipaldi. So who really should be driving this weekend?
Yeah.
Fittipaldi, though, hasn't raced fully back-to-back weekends since February, since he did the Daytona 24.
Fittipaldi is just there to show what he can do.
It's nice to have...
No pressure on him at all.
No, he's quicker than Latifi, though, at this point in the session. 1:39.027. It's still on fire. As we come back to pictures, Kimi Raikkonen's car's now back on the truck, but it's still on fire.
Let's think about this. They've lifted that car up onto the truck via that JCB, right? And now it's on fire again, which suggests there is a pipe broke.
Yeah, the fuel, that's what cost Kevin Magnussen in the Renault
Or
in
a
2016. Yeah, 2016's Malaysia Grand Prix first practice had to be cancelled after Magnussen's car had a fuel rupture and it was catching fire constantly in the pit lane.
Have you noticed, that none of them have thrown any burgers on these fires?
No, they haven't. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, though. Romain Grosjean, who was in that horrible fire a couple of weeks ago, he has actually got his right hand out of the plaster.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and it looked actually, I know...
He was so lucky.
Many people...
We've gone on and on about it, but he was so lucky.
Many people said, oh, that looks horrible, Roman. That looks horrible. But to me, it looked quite normal because that's what my hand normally looks like. It was a little bit of open skin there, a little bit of bruising around the thumb, where it's the same as me. But, yeah, I suffer with really bad eczema on my hands at the moment, which making them look like... They're making them look older than you. And you've got quite young-looking hands compared to me for your age.
I thank you.
If you look at someone your age with your hands, they're quite different.
I'm a mess everywhere else because of my
just look at that.
illnesses.
They're quite different, aren't they? Look, especially around the knuckles, they crust over a lot. So a lot of problems with my hands. So to me, they look normal. And to me, knowing how quickly it takes for skin to regenerate around the hands, Roman's looking at about another 3 weeks before those burns, but he's got to stop the itching process as well. As you know, you get, especially when you're laying in bed, like I've been finding recently as well, your hands get all hot and they get itchy, so you just can't resist scratching, and it's painful. But it's sort of a delightful pain, because when you're itching, you're relieving that itch, but also you can feel the pain of the skin and the flesh and all that. So he's got to manage that with the cream. He's got to manage it with maybe wearing some dressings in bed and just keeping calm and knowing that he can get through it again. So he's going to have those burns on his right hand for another 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's me talking, yeah. And I'm actually...
Personal experience.
Personal experience, yeah. Probably the only time I could probably say that. This is on board with the helicopter down into turn 1. An overtaking opportunity in the race, but we've seen many a crash there over the years, and it put paid to Sebastian Vettel's run of podium streaks back in 2011, because he was on the podium in every single race bar this one.
I thought Seb sounded a lot brighter in the interviews that he's done this weekend.
Well, he's free, isn't he?
Yeah. It's been a bit of a turmoil for him at Ferrari.
I'm looking forward to Seb 2021. The Aston
whereas
model.
we're saying how much Michael brought the team together, Seb did that at Red Bull and he did that at Ferrari to begin with.
Yeah.
But in the last year, there's a lot of, especially the senior management, and him haven't got on at all.
They haven't, no, ever since the change from Arriva Bene to Bonotto, who's not here this weekend.
Bonotto's a great engineer, though.
Yeah, he's getting ready
feel-
for 21. Yeah.
You feel that Binotto will actually get something done.
Here's something we don't usually
the
see.
car.
Yeah, here's something we don't usually see because we all know they do the high-speed test track with the safety car and the medical car. But what we don't usually see is actually all of the track marshals who have cars. They also get an hour's practice around the circuit driving to crash sites. So they get an hour's practice to do quick speed runs. So I just saw an ambulance running by and another Mercedes-Benz and all that lot. Even Michael Masi gets time out on the track.
Where was it the other week where they had all the post-race interviews on the grid, and they had all the emergency vehicles? Was that Bahrain?
Yes, it was. And Turkey.
Bahrain, Turkey. It was the Turkish race, wasn't it?
Yes.
What's Lewis saying?
I don't know, but track surface slippery in Sector 6. Lewis has got a problem with the car. It's stuck in neutral. As the green flag comes back out and the session restarts, we got no information on our race control monitors that the session had started, but there are cars coming back out on the track. So the session's underway, but Lewis Hamilton's stuck at the end of the pit lane, and he's got something wrong with the throttle here.
The boys are on the way.
I've not heard one radio in my ear about Lewis today. Let's have a look. Yeah, so track clear. And yeah, it just restarted a second ago, I believe. Yeah, so we were right on time when the session started at 5 minutes to go. But Lewis Hamilton in all sorts of problems now, and they cannot get that car restarted. They've got it firing now. I can hear it in my ears, and away goes Lewis. I think he stalled it actually coming out of the pit lane. He was sat idle for too long. It was just stalling. Anthony's saying that the car couldn't find first gear, so it's stuck in neutral, and then the engine stalled.
Yeah, if you remember, they asked him to swap the steering wheel a few laps ago.
Yeah.
I think it's that. I think the steering wheel's not very good.
And the problem is they've got to get
programming.
They've got to get ahead. So with Russell's out of the session, he will not take part in any remainder with that problem. Raikkonen caught fire.
Well, it's only 3 minutes 38 seconds to go.
Yeah, but crucially, they lose a practice start in conditions similar to the race. So that's going to be a lot of problem because track temperature's at 26 degrees. So yeah, they've got to do that one fully. As we see the advertising banners going on. A reminder, join us tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Hazel Southwell joins me in the commentary box. Virtually, of course. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that, actually. Can you tell? Can you tell? I'm looking forward to it.
I think you are. And it'd be nice for you.
Formula E journalist.
Having a different aspect to what's said.
Formula E journalist and Formula One journalist as well on racefans.com.
Knows the business.
Yep, been around it a long time in Formula E since the beginning, and Formula One, I think, in this past 2 seasons. Can't wait. It's going to be fun.
Might improve your technique a bit. That's the main thing.
She did message me saying that she's had 0 commentary experience, but I said, that doesn't matter. You've had journalist experience, which means that you can talk about it.
You know how to talk about things.
Precisely.
I've had nothing either, Hazel.
And this is Albon being blocked by Esteban Ocon coming down the back straightaway, and Albon saying, what on earth is he doing? So Albon comes to the inside, and Ocon blocks him and forces him off the track. That's not right from Ocon. That's not needed, and that's dangerous driving as well. So I think that's a penalty coming. I think that'll be a penalty coming his way.
Yeah, but who's going to take the penalty?
Ocon.
Will he score?
I doubt it.
Or will his nerves get the better of him?
And this is Lewis back in the pit lane. And look, they're doing what you said. They're changing the steering wheel back.
Yeah, it was obvious. It was the programming of the steering wheel.
So that's so tricky, though, because they've got to have the settings in exactly the right position as the old steering wheel.
£70,000 worth of kit nowadays.
Yeah, and I think he's lost. He's trying to find launch, isn't he? And it's turned off. And look at the steering wheel. It's like a computer. It's like an onboard. It's like a smartphone.
Whoa, this could be
he's going to get out of the pit lane.
ECU problem. How we're neutral.
And his RPM's at low. Red light's on. We don't want to look at the red light, please. So one time of the year we can have a look.
A green light.
And he's found first gear and he pulls away. Thank God for that. I think I wanted to see the onboard there because look, this is
why Raikkonen, when the car was on fire, kept hold of the steering wheel.
It's like
I know
you're
supposed to replace it.
Yeah.
But it's £70,000 for the kit, and it's like a mini computer, like a laptop with handles.
It's very light as well, which I'm always amazed about.
It's amazing what that little piece of kit can do.
I had hold of Max Verstappen's steering wheel at Barcelona testing last year when I was live on air. You could not believe how light they are, and yet they're controlling these beasts.
It's all about the technical parts in
Yeah.
you know,
I understand that Felipe...
everything
yeah.
about a Formula One car is as light as possible.
Alonso likes his dials on the board small and easily to flick.
Two.
Massa liked a thicker grip and chunky dials because he's wearing the gloves. I think I'd prefer the chunky dials because then you can just move it up and down a bit easier.
Yeah, the ones the flick.
Yeah. Like what we're having the cover talks to the levers here. There's something they can easily grab hold of even though you're wearing gloves.
Yep, the air.
No, but with that device, it can make you like a Dalek quite easily. All I've got to do is turn that little knob up and then you sound like a Dalek.
As you can see, 10 seconds to go.
Get there eventually.
So virtually everybody, I think everybody by the look of it, is out.
Bar
apart from
Raikkonen and Russell, yeah.
And Russell.
Yeah, Russell has missed it. Checkered flag is out. The
So
final.
you've got 18 cars on the track, haven't you?
Yeah, 18's out there. And Gasly's crossed the line, so he's finished in 13th. No one's out there to set lap times. Everyone now is out there to do practice starts completely. So that's it. Second practice is over. The last 90-minute session of the year. And now just one session remains for practice, one qualifying and one race. Down to 3. That's unusual.
And who's getting tired? I'm getting tired.
It's 2:30. I know. Checker flag is out. Session concludes. The one difference is as well, as Hamilton crossed the line to take second, so Bottas tops him by 2/10 on Friday. Going into practice 3, there's no clear winner.
Oh, look at that.
That is Russell. Yeah, they're changing the flooring and the brake as well, yeah. So they're going to take it off, clear it all up and everything. And that is, I think, the technical delegate at Williams looking in the background. Hazmat suits on. I could join you if you like, chaps.
He's got a hazmat, so...
Yeah, bought it, what was that, £2? And I only needed it.
Paper suit with his helmet things on. And
needed it for 15 seconds worth of coverage.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, 15 seconds. That was because...
If you're not thorough, you're not thorough.
Precisely. Last weekend at Shakir, the Outer Loop track was on the F1 2010 game. And to get that part for the lap attack, had to go into the loft, which is full of junk, full of dust, and... what was it? It was full up of stuff, and we don't know what was there. Spiders. We even had a wasp nest, which is gone. It's gone.
Wasp nest is gone.
Yeah, completely vanished. Have you ever noticed a wasp nest just completely vanish?
Must have fallen off.
Don't say that. I was up there. Ooh. I do have another plan of what happened to it, actually.
He has a cunning plan, my lord.
Bottas went off the track and has had a lap time deleted at turn 21, but it's not the fastest time. We've got a yellow out on the circuit posted.
Is it Lewis? No, Lewis is still working.
No, he's there in front of us. I think it's Ocon, but we've gone green now again. I don't know why it's saying... I just saw it at the monitor flashing up. But that's the session over. They're all coming to the grid now to do their practice starts to conclude the session. And that's an unusual sight as well.
And Megan's due home from school soon.
Yes. Oh, no, it's Friday, 3:30.
Oh, is it 3:30 she's going?
Could be, yeah. Usually.
They have a lot of intervention, which means extra work because of the COVID shutdown.
Yeah.
Which she virtually worked all the time.
Yeah, it really annoyed me.
Online and herself.
Yeah, I felt bad though because... actually, if anything, I had a very odd end to university because we were locked down for the end of it. So that was interesting.
Got his certificate, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and there's a graduation ceremony coming as we see that. I will just like to point out as well that if any of you has followed us before last season and the year before that, you would know that for the last
Joshua's hair is a wig.
Yes. No. For the last part on Fridays, I was unavailable to commentate on some of the practice sessions. So you actually took the lead in some of the practice sessions last year.
I know, we had massive viewing figures for that.
Yeah. But so you did the lead commentary.
I have no idea.
No, I don't know. But you took the lead commentary last year.
Talked about some great things.
Yeah. But you took the lead commentary last year, didn't you? And for some of the practice sessions.
It was a Taylor Swift 3 area.
Would you like to know
Nothing against Taylor Swift, but...
Yeah. Just quick.
God, all the questions.
She broke our group chat. But this is actually the very first year in Formula One that I've been alive since about I was aged 3, 4. That I have been present and commentate on every single session in the season. How about that?
That's brilliant. If you're wondering why I've got a
You're
heater.
cooking, yeah. You're cooking, aren't you?
It's cooking me and making me sleepy.
Yeah, well, we'll finish on there in a second. But yeah, so this is actually the first year. I know we haven't covered every race live, but I have commentated on every single session this year because we use it in our Grand Review podcast that we've deliberately held back from you. They've all been completed, but they've been deliberately held back because they'll be broadcast during the off-season. So radio, yeah. I was thinking, why am I putting these out when I could be putting them out in the off-season and getting viewers? So we've deliberately held them back for you, and the Grand Review podcasts will be coming out throughout the off-season.
Have I been in them?
No, because what we did was we replaced the Grand Review with the Sunday race review.
Oh, yeah.
And
I was in them.
Yeah, we've been in them.
On the table.
Yeah.
Big shiny table.
Yeah, so basically we just...
Which is there.
Yeah, which is there. So basically, we removed the Grand Review podcast. We did the Sunday race review instead, replacing that programme. And then the Grand Review podcast, which is the radio broadcast of analysis of all the commentaries that we've done, gets put through into a radio show. We've deliberately held those back so you can listen to them through the off-season as well. They'll be available on iTunes, SoundCloud, and here on YouTube as well. So join us, it's going to be fun. So that's it. We'll run through the times quick because you're getting cooked like a barbecue chicken. It's a 1:36.276 for Bottas. He's on top from Hamilton, Verstappen, Albon, Norris, Ocon, Perez, Leclerc, Ricardo, and Stroll top 10. Kvyat, Sainz, Gasly, Raikkonen, Vettel, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Russell, Fittipaldi, and Latifi. Moment of the session, please.
The fire was the most exciting thing of the session when no one got hurt.
Luckily, yeah.
It was something nice to commentate on, other than...
It's been a dull session, really.
A dull session.
Dull Friday. But join us tomorrow, first of all, later on, for the Friday practice review. Go on.
That's not me, usually. I like to see them challenging each other.
Yeah. Sterling is on tonight on Sky Documentaries at 9 p.m.
I wonder who that's about.
I think it's Sterling Moss, as well.
Sterling Moss.
And we'll be back for the Friday practice review later on this evening. And join me and Hazel Southwell tomorrow at 10 o'clock UK time in the morning for coverage of the third practice session. I'm looking forward to that one as we get ready for the last qualifying day of the season. From us all here, though, thanks for joining us. Bye for now.